Well, good morning, folks. Well, we are now into the next bit of our scene here. And as you know, we finished up the animation yesterday and all the in-betweening, so this is what we've got. So now we'll start in on the cleanup and color on this. So, yeah, let's clean up and color on this. So I think probably what we'll do here, um, yeah. All right, well, we're going to start with cleanup and color. So here's what we'll do. So let's see here. Where's my little glove for my, all right. There we go. So what we're going to do here is we'll turn off the onion skin. And what we're going to do here is add a layer, an empty layer. And we're going to call this layer color. For those of you who are new, we are working in Rough Animator. And yeah, so everything is on 2. So what we'll do is we'll add all of our drawings on this layer first, so that as we move through the scene, we'll already have blank frames that'll be ready to ink and paint. So what I'm doing now is I'm matching every drawing on a new layer with a drawing that will be painted and colored as we go. So there's 90 frames in this one. Look at that. Go. Rough Animator is set, by the way, um, to when you add a drawing. What it's doing, it's adding the drawing based on whatever the previous drawing's exposure is. So you set it for what you want the exposure to be, and it will replicate that exposure on the new drawing. Now, another thing I want to do here is take the opacity of the layer underneath down. I'm taking it down to 31%, so that that drawing will be light enough that when I make a line on top, you can see the difference between the two lines. I'll go to the brush and I touch on the solid brush because that's what I want to use to color with. Now, Nora's hair is black, so I trace her hair. With the solid line. I think what I'll do is drop this down a little bit. Yeah, like maybe to that. Okay. Okay. Where she connects here, let's see, on her shoulder. Let's see, I'm going to bring this back up, fit the window. Nora traditionally wears a lot of blue, so I'm going to give her arm here a blue, give this blue. Okay. I'll use the paint bucket to fill in the black here. Right. And since I've got black, let me just go ahead and do her eyes. Now, let's see, let me pull this out a little bit. So, her skin color is a flesh color, but the lines around her hands and face are going to be a kind of brown, light brown color here. Um, let's see, on the pacifier, I think I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to stick with the solid black on the, or well, let's see, maybe just a light gray on the block. So let's see, put that behind or in front. There's a setting here that will let you put a line in front or behind. I'm going to put these in front, work on top. Okay. You change that if you're going to work a line behind something. So pick your battles. I'm going to stick with the gray here. Okay. There's a setting down here that will let you shift back and forth between having a line on the top or having a line on the bottom. Save. Okay. Behind. Once I establish to color on a character, I like to try to keep that as consistent. Well, to keep it consistent throughout the entire scene. Yeah, so I'm going to keep the line around Nora this color throughout the entire scene. Okay, there we go. I'm going to switch this to on top so that that line works over the top there. Okay, let's see, and then here I'm going to go behind again. You're going to find you're going to have to kind of go back and forth between sometimes the line being on the top, sometimes it being on the bottom. All right, paint bucket. She's got flesh color, so that works on her hands. Let's see. Okay. I know she's got a jumper on, so let's see. I think what we're going to have to do here is make the jumper. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, and I think this is going to have to be a lighter color. I'm going to make all this light. Yeah. Okay. Then the block, I'm just going to make a decision about it. Okay. So now we've established um, Nora's color, and now we'll get save that. Save. And let's pull. Okay. So now with Lenny, we know the hair is going to be black here, so that's a no-brainer. And generally, his color, he has a black line around him, which is also a no-brainer. Go. Go. So let's see. Um, green pacifier. Let's see. Go. Oops. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. So I'm trying to decide the color I want to put on his clothing. And I was kind of jumping to reds there for some reason. Not really sure why. Let's see. Purple. Hmm. Hmm. So, oh, he doesn't move hmm, until there. So, well, that's interesting. Uh, well, a part of me is kind of thinking maybe there's no need to separate that legs that early. Let's see. Okay, yes, coming down to there, there. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's okay. So, all right. I know I used gray on the line before, so I'll do the same thing here on block. Let's keep them all kind of similar to make it easier. Let's see. Okay. And down on the bottom there, the bottom left, there's a setting that will let you change the line from from a drawn wavy line to a straight line if you want to do a straight line. So that's pretty cool. All right, so now at Lenny, we've got, let's see, not the right color for Lenny. He's not this dark. Let's see. I'm pretty sure he's not that dark. No, no, he's not that dark. I didn't think so. No, he's. I don't know if he's this dark either. No, he's not that dark either. He should be that dark. Yeah. Oh boy. So, all right. So then on the. Let's see. Hmm. Let's see. What do I want to do about the binky here? I could make it red, I suppose, couldn't I? Let's see. Red binky. Well, that's not the worst situation. Let's see. I could also, well, I could make his shirt that color. And let's see. Hmm. Yeah, I could do that. Ooh. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Okay. Go back down to 100%. So now once we've established the colors, we want to keep those colors consistent throughout the scene. Yeah. So let's see. All right. So then we go to the next drawing. Same thing. So let's. Okay. See, because now all I have to do to remember the color is just to flip back to the drawing ahead of me, and I can look and see what colors I picked. Some programs, Rough Animator does have a palette here that it saves the colors that you're using, so that's very convenient. Oops, but what it doesn't do, oh, I see why that happened. What it doesn't do is it doesn't remember the color um, that you're picking specifically um, for a character. So, like, let's see. I think that was the color that I was using for Nora. So that goes here. Yeah. After you've done a few, then you're gonna remember what you used. You know. Yeah, so that color works pretty much all the way around. Let's see, well, yeah, it works all around Nora. So line all the way around her body and clothing is going to be this color. Let's see. This is her skin color. There. Yeah, and then Pacifier's got the same color. Let's bring this up. Yeah. You need to have the, whoops, wrong color. Pacifier is the same color as this. Let's see, back up. It's this color here. There we go. We're going to use the line tool for the block. Oh, looks like we have that on top. So that line needs to be on the front. It needs to be over the top of any other line or color. Okay, there we go. And now it's going to work behind. So it goes up to work behind those lines there. Go back to the drawn line. Okay. Then we can take the paint bucket, fill in color on her face, hands. Let's see. Yeah, that's set behind. Let's see. All right. So we're using this color here for the jumper. So all this stuff here. And I believe it's the light, yeah, it's the light colored blue on the pacifier and the sleeves, right? Yeah. And then on the block, so we've got red here. I think yellow is in the front, yeah. Yellow is in the front where the A is, and the C is a green. There we go. Okay, and oh, I see that's. So I think that's, yeah, we want this line here. We got it. Works on the top. Okay. Oh, and then we need to go here for the, sometimes the color doesn't fill all the way in, so we have to go in and put it in by hand. All right, well, we're up over 20 minutes, so we'll stop here and pick it up tomorrow. So we just got a couple of frames colored. Yeah, our first couple of frames. All right, folks. Well, hey, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Don't forget to thank God for your talents and gifts. I'll see you tomorrow, and don't forget, Jesus is Lord.